Hey, in today's video, we're going to talk about what you need to know before you sign up with an online course platform. Now, one of the most popular questions I get asked is, which course platform do I use? And that is such an interesting question because very frequently people feel the need to choose an online platform before they're actually ready. And there are a lot of platforms to choose from, and many of them are great platforms. So let's talk about what you need to know before you choose an online platform, because there is a way to do this that won't cost you an arm and a leg, and you can test out your course beforehand, and that's what I recommend. So the very first thing you need to do is to build your audience. If you are brand new and you don't have an audience, this is what you've got to do before you get started. You can have a course already and open the shop front of your course and then have crickets happen. And if you're paying a lot of money per month in order to host that course on that platform, that can be a killer. So the very first thing you need to do is build your audience. And there's lots of ways to do that. This is not what that's about. So go and find those videos and go and learn how to build your audience, because you need an audience before you get students. Okay, then you want to pre-sell your course. Now, pre-selling your course is part of market research. It is part of the analysis that you do when you first begin. So you're going to start with choosing your topic and deciding who your audience is. As you're building your audience, you're kind of deciding what that's going to look like. Who is it that you're serving and how will your course help them? And you're going to get some ideas on what kind of courses are going to best serve them and use their words to try and market that course. When you have put out enough feelers out there about what type of course you can do and people are interested in it, now you can start building the course. Obviously, there's going to be some really good work and some analysis done before you can pre-sell. Once you pre-sell, you can start putting your deliverables together. So you want to create that course outline. Let's say you put it out there, you put out some market research and people are interested in taking your course. Now you want to do your course outline. Like, this is what it's going to look like over these 3 days for this mini course, or these 3 days for this challenge. And you're going to run a proof of concept. A proof of concept is like a beta or a pilot. It's just a different word of it, a word for it. And I prefer proof of concept because it has an experimental feel to it. So you're going to throw an idea out there, get people to want to participate, have them participate with this idea that you're just running this first launch, this proof of concept, to see if this is going to work. And then you're going to run this thing with a minimal product. Now, this isn't because you don't want to take care of them. You want to give them a maximum amount of connection, a maximum amount of results, a maximum amount of content. In some cases, you can say, if you sign up for this proof of concept, you'll also have access to my finished work. So there's ways to make sure that you're taking care of your audience. I definitely want you to do that. But have them go through this minimal version for often a reduced rate, and then you can get their feedback. Their feedback is going to go right back into your development. So you're going to run this a few times. I specifically have practice with running it 3 to 5 times in order to get everything finalized and in a point where you're not going to have a lot of people asking questions at the end because they didn't understand something, like maybe an activity doesn't go well, maybe you're missing content, maybe there's part of your content that needs to be pulled out. So you're going to run this a few times until the feedback is like, this is great, I understood everything, I was able to put it into practice immediately, I feel like I got my money's worth out of it. Now you're going to, because you've run this a few times and you've been able to generate a little income, now you can take the money that you've generated by doing these iterations and you can pour it into finalizing your materials and making sure they're awesome. You can pay somebody to create really compelling materials. And then you can also pay a hosting service. So this is when you would want to choose your platform. Now, but back up a little bit, because it's while you're iterating this course a few times that you're also going to have an opportunity to start looking at the platforms. While you're running your course on free platforms like Facebook or Zoom or other locations, maybe Google Meet, you'll find lots of ways to be able to host your course in a free way with a live audience and get the feedback you need so that you can put it into that paid platform. But this will also give you an idea of what type of platform requirements you're going to need. Does your platform need to have quizzes? And if so, why do you need a quiz? A lot of people use quizzes because that's how they were raised with education and stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily need a quiz. But if your course does require a quiz, if there's a good reason for having a quiz, then maybe look for a platform that has quizzes. Or does the platform need to have some groups or some sort of tracking? If you're doing a certification, you may want to be able to track the quiz results. You may want to track that they've completed everything. So there are some things that you may need in your course platform that you want to look for. The other thing is to consider what tools you already have. For instance, if you already have an email service provider, then you may not want an all-in-one course platform, because all-in-one course platforms are fabulous. They're fan-freaking-tastic, but they cost more than platforms that aren't all-in-ones in many cases. And if you're going to use the email service provider in your course platform, that may mean migrating everything over to that. And that might be perfectly fine for you, but it is something to consider. Do you want a course platform that has the landing page builder, that has the email service provider, that has a lot of those automations? Or would you prefer to have those things handled by other platforms? Like, do you love your email service provider? Do you love your landing page builder? So that's another thing to consider. Then you might want to try and test the trial version of that course platform while you're doing those final iterations of your course to see if people like it. Is it an easy, like, you want the course to be awesome and fantastic and wonderful. And then when they go to a platform and that platform is clunky and difficult, and they may not be able to remember their username and password, and it's difficult to use, you may not want to use that particular course platform, because the platform itself can provide a barrier to learning. It can provide a barrier to your reputation. So go ahead and test those platforms too. Do you love the look and feel of that platform? And then if you're planning on offering more courses, does this platform expand in the way that you want to? Like, does it offer like an easy to use homepage that has all the different courses that have available and which ones they paid for and which other ones are available? So you want to consider all those things before you choose your online course platform. And in this way, you can choose a course platform that is going to work best for your business. So if you're just starting out, start with building your audience. Get to know them, get to love them, get to listen to them, empathize with them. And then when you're ready, after you've tested your course, you'll find a platform that is perfect for you. Have a great and blessed day.